Hello, I'm Harald Weinkum, bass player, bass instructor, and I want to share a slap technique with you that involves 5 notes that you can combine to a 5-note group. And those 5 notes go as follows. First note will be right hand thumb. Second note, left hand percussive mute. And at that point I want to encourage you to first watch my 4-note and my 3-note groups before you watch this, so that you already know all the basics about left hand percussive muting. So assuming you already watched my 4-note and my 3-note version, here is the 5-note version. First 2 notes we just talked about, number 1, number 2. My 3rd note is another thumb. This time my E string is already muted, and then similar to my 4-note group, but this time my 5-note group, I have 2 fingers sitting on my D and my G string, ready to pop those 2 strings. Not at the same time, because then we'd have 4-note group again, but one after the other. And I sort of roll off my right hand so that naturally my D string and my index finger pops first, and then my G string with my middle finger. Now I do want to grab both strings at the same time, because I will not have enough time to just do the D string by itself and then have to find the G string and pop it again. So I really need to put down my index and my middle finger at the same time and pop them. So again, our 5-note group is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you will notice that as soon as I put down my 2nd thumb here, immediately I grab my D and my G string at the same time. Otherwise I will not have enough time to look for my D string and pop it, and then come back and look for my G string. I will lose too much time. So as I hit my 2nd thumb, my index and my middle finger immediately snap those D and G strings, ready to pop them. And the reason why it's very useful in my opinion is that those popped strings give us some of the snappiest and most percussive sounds that we have in slap technique. So there's no way somebody will not ever hear those. And just like in my 4-note and my 3-note group, I also can start incorporating actual notes in that 5-note group. So instead of my open E string and my percussive mute, I can use actual notes. And just like in my 3 and 4-note group, I want to start using my D on our A string, and I'll be, instead of having a percussive mute as my 2nd note, I will hammer on one whole step higher to my E. So my first 2 notes are going to be D to E, and then I change my left hand to a muted position, and I'm adding 3rd note, 4 and 5. Again, first 2 notes are actual notes, and then change to mute and 1. And again, just like in my 4-note and 3-note group, now I can start using different notes that are all part of E minor pentatonics. For example, D to E, G to A to B, back to G and A, D to E, next lowest string, A to B. Sorry, B to A. Okay, so we got you can always play the open E string in between, so you can play open. Okay? Thanks. Hi, if you liked that free lesson, go check out my CD. It's called A Bass Bolero, that has 15 of today's greatest bass players. Not on the same CD, but on the same track, including Victor Wooten, Steve Bailey, Gary Willis, Rocco Prestia, Jimmy Haslip, Abe Laborde, and many, many, many more. You'll love it. abassbolero.com. Bye.